Hello, everyone. My name is Don, the movie reviewer, and today we're going to be talking about one of my most anticipated movies, Kingsman: The Golden Circle. I am a fan of the original Kingsman movie that came out in 2014. It was a pleasant surprise for me. Now, with this sequel, I am going to spoil it because I don't give a fuck.
Eggsy. I hope you're ready for what comes next.
And now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. My friend, I'll say it clear, I took the blows and did it my way. Oh my God, Harry.
Eggsy returns to save the world in this sequel to the Kingsman movie that hit cinemas and surprised audiences in 2014. First off, Eggsy returns to fight a former Kingsman trainee with a metal arm that every time it was on screen, it reminded me of the Terminator movies. Colin Firth returns for no apparent reason. The action is overkill, with some great cinematography, great fight choreography, slick directing, and good acting. What made the first Kingsman movie so special? It was that it was different and it was fresh. Now we have this sequel, which is just repeating the same beats from the first movie while adding in some elaborate action scenes. I don't mind over-elaborated action scenes in movies as long as they are set up in a way that fits a movie's overall tone. Now with the Kingsman Golden Circle, if you've come to see some over-elaborate, polished action scenes, then look no further. All the action in this movie made my head hurt by the end of it all. I like the first Kingsman movie more than this because when the action scenes happened in that movie, they felt special. Like that church scene was awesome. Now, Kingsman: The Golden Circle showed way too much action to the point of Overdrive because some of the action scenes went on so long that during most of them, I just pretty much forgot what in the hell the characters were actually supposed to be doing during some of those scenes. I will say this though, the acting is top notch. Taron Egerton returns as Eggsy. When he first popped up on screen, my mind instantly went to James Bond 007 with a mean mug. Colin Firth returned for no goddamn reason other than to freak out about some butterflies, mention some dog that I knew nothing about, and to fight some useless character named Whiskey. Pedro Pascal gave a good performance. During one scene, he reminded me of a young Burt Reynolds, and if that's what Matthew Vaughn was aiming for, then by God he hit the mark. But Whiskey, played perfectly by Pedro Pascal, was useless. He had some pretty awesome fighting scenes, but by the end of it all, his character was wasted on some generic villain plotline where he just spills the beans about his carefully executed plan to the heroes at the very last instant instead of just taking them out. Why don't you just fucking kill them? Julianne Moore plots to take over the world, and the plot is ridiculous. But so is Valentine's. However, the plot here is extra ridiculous because of how seriously the movie takes it. Usage of any recreational drug causes the user to go through a series of wacky and painful stages until they meet their ultimate demise. Okay, that's interesting, but why did the movie take this so seriously? Sir, you can't do this. Not all people who use recreational drugs are criminals. Some of them are innocent, everyday people. People like me. There is nothing wrong with the movie taking a particular distinguishable approach towards a subject that has been a huge topic in American history. But taking that topic and shoving it down your audience's throat, you might as well just beat the audience over the head with the message saying, war on drugs, war on drugs, war on drugs. You get it? Yeah, I get it. Not everyone who uses drugs is a bad person, and not everyone who uses drugs is a criminal. But the message in this movie is so poorly executed that it becomes absurd to the point of this just feels like an awareness video for kindergartners. Julianne Moore's performance was fine, by the way. She came off as creepy in most scenes. Fuck those motherfuckers. We'll pretend like we're negotiating with Poppy for the antidote just so we don't have people panicking. But really, I can't wait to get rid of these druggy motherfuckers. Bruce Greenwood's president character was funny throughout this movie. Each scene with him basically saying, fuck those addict motherfuckers, was comedic, and it had perfect comedic timing. Channing Tatum was great in his role, but they didn't give him much screen time. What's up with that? Mark Strong was good, nothing memorable, but he did have that singing deaf scene, which felt forced to me. Actually, my favorite scene with Mark Strong is a scene he has with Eggsy, and they both get drunk. Now, that was the best moment and the most funniest moment in the movie. Jeff Bridges plays Jeff Bridges with style and elegance. Halle Berry does nothing here. She's just set up for the sequel. Elton John. Elton John is the star of this show, believe it or not. Every single scene with Elton John is funny, and Elton John has amazing, perfect comedic timing. I didn't hate Kingsman: The Golden Circle. I actually thought it was fairly entertaining. The beginning of the movie is overkill because it immediately started with an action scene that went on way too long. The middle section of the movie had some of the best moments, everything with Julianne Moore, Channing Tatum, Bruce Greenwood, and Elton John were great. The ending of the movie gave me an absolute headache, and I'm still feeling it right now. I'll give Kingsman: The Golden Circle a B-. I didn't hate this movie. It still had most of the original Kingsman fun during the second act, but it all went into overkill with the elaborate action scenes. But the directing in those action scenes were very stylish and perfectly choreographed, but they just went on forever and felt like they were happening every 5 minutes to the point where they literally made my head hurt by the end of it all. Colin Firth had no business in this movie. His character should have stayed dead. I honestly don't know why they brought him back, because his character just does absolutely nothing for this movie. It's just more plot added into here with already enough plot storyline. I would have been satisfied if they would just kept Colin Firth's character dead and had him in flashbacks, and they should have just went more like a generic sequel route where it's you have Eggsy being the new Colin Firth and him taking on a new protege and training him, and then Eggsy's having problems with his relationship, and so he's remembering all of these flashbacks with Colin Firth saying, maketh the man and all this stuff, and just have stuff like that, and have the movie build Eggsy's character up with that, instead of just you forcing Colin Firth in here and then forcing Whiskey to have this stupid plot that comes at the end of the movie with some stupid photograph and wife we don't know nothing about, and then his character is just useless and wasted in that, and he doesn't fucking kill them when he has a chance. He's just oh, I'm gonna explain why I did what I did, and it's really, dude, why? Just fucking kill them. and it's really kind of a mess when you think about it. I mean, it all makes sense by the end of it. The drug thing, the addict thing, was was fine, and it's ridiculous like the first movie, but they just took it a little too seriously in this movie, and I really didn't like that. And it does feel like a kindergarten awareness commercial video, like, don't do drugs, boys and girls, it's bad, and it's just like this movie's really disappointing. It doesn't suck, but it's just a really disappointing movie. So as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Now, as I was saying, drugs are bad. You shouldn't do drugs. If you do them, you're bad, because drugs are bad, okay?